Okay, let's get on to another one. This isn't exactly on these notes. It's an Austin story, but adding to this, do they still not know if he's going to just have a brawl or actually a match, or he's going to be on the KO show and just, I mean, he can't come on the KO show and have an interview. He would walk into the ring and they would just start fist fighting. So, I mean, it would make no sense. Obviously, what they would do, I think, is have him on the KO show and he would be asked questions and they build up to fighting right then and there. But it would make no sense that he just wouldn't walk into the ring and start fist fight.
I don't know if he's going to be having an interview at all. I think he may just walk into the ring and start fighting, and brawl around the arena and whatnot. So yeah, this has changed a lot from the initial thing where it was Steve Austin was going to main event the show. That was what was penciled in, and he would main event. They wanted him to main event in Texas and set up a comeback. To which Steve Austin's feet started to get cold when the word main event started to be thrown around, because that's not where he wanted to be. So it's very, like, there's a lot of stuff out there about how Austin was difficult to work with, and he didn't want to work with Jeff Jarrett, and he didn't want to lose to Brock Lesnar and all this kind of stuff. But he also didn't want to take Ronda and Charlotte's main event because he has a relationship with Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair, and he just said, I'm not going to be in the main event. It's bad enough I have to wrestle. It's bad enough, like, I'm going to, come back and wrestle, and then I'm going to be in the main event. So this kind of worked in terms of scaling back. Well, if you're not going to wrestle, then, if I'm not going to wrestle now, then, I could just go and do the brawl and we can call it a KO show. Then nobody's going to be critiquing it. I mean, it's very odd because being in Steve Austin's position and you're looking at this fan base and like the Meltzers and all that, and you don't want to be scrutinized by them. Like, you Steve Austin, you should really be able to do what you want. But when you look at this current roster and how the business has evolved, I think from Steve Austin's position, he doesn't want to be put in that bracket in terms of, oh, did Steve Austin have the worst match of the night, or Steve Austin had a 2-star match on his comeback or whatever. So he's like sort of trying to do the same thing without adding a pinfall to it, without having any like judgment to it being a match, and without actually having to go on last. So he doesn't go on last. He doesn't pin any of the new talent, and he doesn't get judged in terms of it being an actual match. Other roadblocks that we've hit along the way were the fact that Austin didn't want to return to Jacksonville to build up the match, and he feels like the initial pop should be the one. And that is among the numerous snags that we've had. The one consistent thing that we've had from the beginning is that Steve Austin agreed to do this before Christmas, and Steve Austin trained to be physically involved. The physical element, and this being a talk show and this being a physical brawl, that was already determined. Whether it be labeled a match with the 1, 2, 3 or not, that's the only gray area and where it goes on the card. But for Steve Austin, he's won out in terms of his 3 preferences. I don't want to be on television to build up this match. I don't want to go on last, and I don't want to pin anybody for a 3 count. So this is an actual match that we build up to. So he seems to be winning at every point. Yet it is nothing to do with being in shape, because my understanding is this: Steve Austin is not under the wellness policy, and I want everybody to remember that, because Steve Austin, from what I've been told, doesn't even look remotely like he's under the wellness policy. Like, he looks better than when he actually wrestled. So when Cav was worried that he wasn't going to be able to see his body, because Cav really wanted to see him go topless, like, he is, I'm pretty certain he's going to go topless.
Okay, we had the Miss Lingus, but it's Austin who's going topless. Great.
Yeah, he's gonna look like he's not under the wellness policy. He's gonna look like he's training for a comeback, and he's certainly not gonna look 57. Like, I know this from everyone I've spoken to, that he has been seriously training, and he's juiced. So
okay. Usually we always get a new like KO Mania shirt, which are real fun to see because he mocks. I don't know if you would say mock, but he copies the logo that was Mania each year and going up. Have you heard anything about this latest one?
Yeah, I've seen it. We're up to WrestleMania 6, and on this T-shirt, Austin is Hulk Hogan, and Kevin Owens is Warrior. And
So he doesn't put his face on both, though?
No, not this time.
Okay. Okay.
Not from what I've seen. And the thing is they've gone this time with the whole like, literally he sellotaped over, so you can see Owens' body, but Warrior's arms.
Oh, wow.
Warrior's arms like.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
Yeah. So I think the final design, from, I don't know if I've seen the final design, but the one I saw had Steve Austin in place of Hulk Hogan.
Is it just Austin's head on Hogan ripping the shirt, or is it like Austin standing there?
Oh, I don't remember. I know it's Owens has got his Kevin Owens stuff on, and it's Warrior's arm sticking out.
That's funny.
I imagine it's Austin just glued over Hogan.
You know, see, I think it'd be funny if it was Austin's face doing the Hogan tearing of the shirt off. That'd be great. I don't know. Was this sent to you by somebody you know, or
Yeah.
like? Okay, cool.